Well, Patricia is a member of CCF, Cheetah Conservation Fund. Patricia, when was it founded?
The Cheetah Conservation Fund was founded in 1990 by Dr. Lori Marker in Namibia. That's where it's based. And it was founded there because of the need to stop the deterioration of the ecosystem. Thousands of cheetahs were being killed every year by farmers that were angry because the cheetahs were eating the livestock. So she founded the organization there in 1990. We've been alive for 28 years, doing work in all the areas that have to involve for conservation, which is education, scientific research, the actual care of the animals, tourism. We do a lot of activities to promote income, alternative income for the communities that have to share their land with wild animals.
Yes, CCF, I think it's a large organization working cheetah conservation and environmental protection. Why is it founded?
Why was it founded? Well, it was founded because people were killing cheetahs, and cheetahs are part of the ecosystem. When you don't have a healthy ecosystem, you have desertification, you have lack of water. If you don't have a balance, for example, too many animals eating grass or eating the trees, you're going to turn into a desert, everything. And then if you have all those animals and no other animals to prey on them, to eat them, then you're going to have a problem. So there has to be always a balance. And a balance is good because it attracts tourism, it provides you with land that you can use for planting, for everything. So there are many advantages to having a healthy habitat, a healthy ecosystem. And that's why we began with CCF, because the cheetah could have gone extinct.
There is, I think, more animals that have same problem as a cheetah. Mm-hmm. Why do you differentiate it? Why did you differentiate from other animals?
We really don't differentiate. Cheetah is obviously a very iconic animal because it's so beautiful and people love cheetahs. But our work is not just for cheetahs, it's for the entire system that surrounds the territory of a cheetah. So all the animals, the vegetation. At CCF we do ecological studies to study vegetation, to study the birds and the antelopes and the insects. So everything has to be balanced. So the cheetah is our logo and it's our symbol, but we are taking care of everything, including the humans that live in cheetah territory.
How many countries do you work in?
We're obviously headquartered in Namibia, but we work with any country where there are cheetahs, and there are less and less every time. So right now, I believe it's under 20 countries in Africa that have any cheetahs left, and that's where we work.
I think you have been here in Somaliland nowadays. What are you doing here in Somaliland?
Well, I have to go back a little bit in history. This is my 4th visit in Somaliland, but in reality I've been working with Somaliland since 2011. And this is because we found out through different sources and different events that happened before then in Ethiopia that Somaliland was the main transit route for the smuggling of illegal wildlife into the Middle East. Most of that wildlife that gets smuggled, over 50% of it, is cheetahs. Cheetahs are very prized in the Middle East. People like to have them as pets, and they don't realize that what they're doing is they are stealing resources from the African countries, and they're also causing the death of many cheetahs because there are more cheetahs that die than the ones that actually make it to that market. So when we started seeing that Somaliland was being used as a transit route for cheetahs from Ethiopia or from Kenya or even from here, we began making friends here, meeting people. Then we started working with the Ministry of Environment and Rural Development to try to find ways in which this trafficking can be stopped. The ministry has, since a couple of years ago, when I first came to Somaliland, we started develop several strategies. Minister Shukri has been incredibly dedicated, and she really wants this to work. So we're trying to do many different things, from raising awareness to building capacity with enforcement. Two officials from the Ministry of Environment came to Namibia this year to be trained in different areas of conservation and environment. So we're trying to build capacity. We're not we're an organization that is a charitable organization. We don't have our own budget. We live from donations, but this is one of our priorities right now. We're trying to do as much as we can. We want to do more training, and of course, we also need to take care of animals that are being confiscated, because if the government is applying the law, which makes it illegal to take wild animals from the wild, then they have to take the animals, and if they take the animals have to go somewhere.
Yes, Somaliland government has done a good things on environment and other wild animals. And also your organization, CCF, has praised Somaliland for its good working.
Yes. Yes.
So what Somaliland has done?
Well, I can tell you that of all the countries that I work with that are affected by this illegal trade of cheetahs, Somaliland is a country that has demonstrated the most will and interest in doing something. And this is very important, because Somaliland is the only one of these countries that is not yet recognized as a country, but is doing more things to fight this trafficking. And we have many obstacles, because the government doesn't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of money. But just on August 5th, thanks to a very, I don't know his name, but he was a man from the Coast Guard in El Sheikh, Ahmed, he rejected $2,000 fine, not fine, a bribe, because he caught two men with 6 cheetahs, a man, Ahmed Ahmed Abdi, who I think is now in the hospital. But so this man refused the $2,000. Then the ministry mobilized, called us, and we all mobilized to go pick up these 6 cheetahs. The two traffickers got arrested, Ahmed Abdi and the other man, Omar. They both got arrested. They both went to court, which is the first time that we have seen this, at least with cheetahs. And they both got 3 years each in jail, and a fine of $300 each. And I believe they took their vehicle too. So this is actual action that the government, the Coast Guard, the Ministry of Environment and Rural Development, the judicial system, the court system, they all worked in a perfect chain to make sure that these 2 people went to jail. Now, I wish they had to pay more, because it cost us $5,000 a month to take care of all the animals, and we don't have that money. So they should have a bigger fine than that. But I'm glad they got, the law was applied in this.
I would like to have your last message to Somaliland people and the Ministry of Environment and Rural Development, especially the Department of Wildlife. What is your recommendations?
Well, First, it's not a recommendation, it's a big thank you for all the willingness they have shown in cooperating, working with us. You know, NGOs don't always get government partners that are willing to help. But it's a big thank you to all the staff and the minister herself. There's a lot that needs to be done. The Somaliland people are being robbed of their wildlife. This wildlife can mean an income for the communities. I just saw a group from Dubai that comes here as tourists, and they would very happily probably stay longer in Somaliland if they could go and see wildlife. So I think Somaliland has a great potential. I think we are all taking the right steps towards it. It would be important for the communities in general to remember that this wildlife belongs to them, that it's also illegal to take it, and it's haram to take it. So we have to appreciate it, respect it, and find ways in which it can benefit us too.
Okay, thank you very much.